Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so happy to see you here and be held in this energy. In this week's energy update, we're going to be talking all around how we can embody and treat ourselves in the energy and as the energy of the goddess. Can we step into self-care, self-nourishment, self-love, and self-service to step into this really beautiful energy of I appreciate myself, I am empowered, I see how much I am capable of, and I get to fill my cup from this space so that I can take action towards the big visions which I now know I am worthy and able and capable of achieving in my life. And so this energy is so beautiful. I can't wait for you to hear the channel messages that came through this week and how you can take care of yourself under this energy to really shine from this goddess, sensual energy of the divine feminine. So enjoy! Welcome to the energy update for the week of May the 13th. This week is interesting because we have just had the new moon in Taurus the week of I think it was on the 8th and 9th of May. This Taurus energy is grounded in the energy because it is ruled by Venus. It is grounded in this energy of how do we show up for ourselves? How are we loving and caring for ourselves? It's very much this ruler of beauty and appreciation and nature, but also the material life. So the material self, the things around us, the way that we fill our lives. And with the energy coming through last week, the energy was really dominated by this heart energy around how we can open up our hearts to be in self-love, self-compassion, self-belief, and really ground that into our bodies. And being ruled by this Venus energy, it has this Venusian energy of like goddess. And with the energy update for this week, the energy is calling us to take divine action, embodied action, but from the place and the position and the viewpoint of goddess energy, which is so beautiful when you think about it, because it's like encouraging us to see how can we treat ourselves like a goddess, fill ourselves up from that place, and be embodied through that in our actions. With this energy and with the moon, it was inviting us to start to plan and vision for the future reality that we want now that we have sat within ourselves through the eclipse energy, through Mercury retrograde, to really go into this introspective time that we maybe learned a lot of things about ourselves. Maybe we learned a lot of ways that we were holding ourselves back, or now allowing us to fully appreciate what we have to offer, fully vision for what we think is capable for us in the future. And because those themes tend to go with how do you see yourself, how have you been limiting yourself, with it comes the introspection and the energy of, okay, I see this, now how do I choose to do things differently? And this is where this energy of Taurus in this new moon came in. It says, now that you've seen how much you've changed, now that you've witnessed and you've had all this introspection from this really intense month and a half, now what do you have to say? Now what do you want to create? And it's almost daring us to begin to dream a vision for our lives of what we can create from this very empowered place now that we've witnessed, or we have witnessed during the eclipses and the retrograde, to now come forward in a place of, okay, I see myself. I see where my worth has been diminished. I feel where my power has been taken away. Now let me choose differently. And this energy is strong, but it's like, it's direct. It's like, let's choose differently. Let's take an action. But it wants us to be encouraged by the idea that we have to fill ourselves up to take the action. And with it, it's saying it might be courageous action, because it might be things that we haven't ever allowed ourselves to dream of or to think that we were capable and worthy of. But it's saying now that we've had all the revelations, now that we have seen ourselves, how can we choose what direct action we want to take? Perhaps there is a list of things that will fill up your soul. Can you choose one thing to action on? Maybe it's a list of things that will re-empower you and make you feel, okay, yeah, I do have this. I can do this in my life. I can dream this thing up. I can go for this job. I can change whatever it is in your life that you're feeling called to. I can actually do that. And it's saying, okay, well, looking at the list of things that would create that kind of life, take an action. But maybe that action is simply rest. It's a simple vision of having a restful life or feeling restful. And that is to encourage, and it's valid to have that, because this is an important theme under this time. If you have been pushing yourselves beyond your limit, pushing forward in the masculine energy, it's saying, can you stop? Can you appreciate what is here in the here and now? Can you appreciate how much you have changed and all it's taken you from the past to get here? And in that moment of pause, in that moment of reflection, that moment of, in a way, intentional rest to reset, that is also nourishing you deeply. That is also a valid action to take. And that's going to be a very, very important thing. And it's asking us, okay, well, maybe it is inspired action, maybe actions that we've left dormant for a while, maybe things that we never thought were the right time, we were at the right time of our lives for, we felt we were capable of. It's saying, okay, well, how can we break this down simply and make a start? However, the energy through which we start is the important capacity here. It's, are we rested? Are we nourished? Do we feel full? Or are we acting from a place of depletion? Because the depletion energy is not this divine feminine energy. It's not this goddess energy of, I am here, I see myself, and I take action from this place. It's a, I'm just trying to get by, and I'm going to make actions because I need to hustle, because I need to get through, because I need to continue pushing forward. And that's not the energy that we're being invited into under this moon, being ruled by Venus, this really sensual goddess energy. It's not asking us to take action from that place. It's saying, remember that you can only take action from a rested place and a really full heart. And this is when the action will be truly meaningful and will have this deep ripple effect into the areas of your life. The energy and the frequency of what you're creating will be amplified significantly. And with that, it's saying, well, just rest. Do what you need to do to feel rested, to take care of yourself at this time, to be able to slow down enough to fill your own cup and to really appreciate the beauty that is around you. Because again, this is this very balanced, stable Taurus energy. It's about appreciating the beauty of life, a beauty of what is created around you. And that can only be found when we have slowed down enough to feel safe, to witness beauty. If we're running around kind of chasing, we've got our head down, we're kind of like all zoned into what we have to do. And it doesn't allow us this moment of pause to say, hang on a sec, that was really beautiful. And I've really noticed this shift come through in the last, I would say, week and a half, where it's really been like, oh, do you feel this Taurus energy coming in? Do you feel this slowness? Do you feel your perspective being able to shift because of it? And it's simply just like, instead of allowing our minds to race in front of us, it's about being slow enough and paused enough to just say, hey, I witnessed that. And I know, because I was driving, I wasn't actually driving, I was in the passenger seat, and I was looking out the window and I saw a couple of like really beautiful, genuine, authentic human like moments and emotions. And I was only able to witness those things and to really allow them to fill me with like the beauty of life, because I was paused long enough to see them. And it was like two people interacting with each other, and just the genuine affection and the appreciation of just being simply in our human self. That is so fulfilling. And I even had the download in that moment, like, it made me smile. I was like, look at those two people just simply loving each other. And I probably wouldn't have seen that had I been in my thoughts or running around or chasing or thinking about the next thing I have to do. But in that moment of just and appreciating and saying how grateful I am for everything, that's when I was able to witness that. And that is just a metaphor for what we can witness in our lives generally. Are we slowed down enough to appreciate the small moments with our family, or the small interactions with our co-workers or our colleagues, or the way that someone in the store smiles at you, or the communication that you have with someone on the street, maybe a simple smile and feeling the person's energy shift. Those are all the slow, beautiful things that we get to appreciate even more in Taurus energy, in this Venus energy of beauty and bounty and gratitude. And that's what this energy is inviting us into at this time. And so because it's inviting us into this really restful, rejuvenated state of slowness to be able to fill up our cups and appreciate the beauty around us, it's from this place that we can take profound intentional action. And that's the point, right? We're creating a life for the vision of what we get to create. Now that we've gone through this eclipse portal and now we've changed over the last few years, the last few weeks and months, it's saying, okay, now that you've done all this, you've gone through the change, you've transformed within yourself, you get to create the life that you want. Because you now realize how your beliefs haven't supported you, how you felt about yourself didn't support you. You know, whatever it is that was stopping you from creating those things, because you simply just didn't think that you were capable or worthy of doing them. Now that you've seen that, now you get to action differently, to do things differently, to believe about yourself differently. But that can really come when we in our full place of rest, a full place of appreciation and fullness, because then we get to take an action that is so intentional. That's like, I know this action, however small it is, it's going to change the way that I feel. And that's the point, right? Because when we show up for ourselves in self-love, in self-care, we allow ourselves to feel good in that moment. And how we feel implements how we create in our lives, how we act through our lives, how we move through our lives, and how we just are as an energy in our lives. And that is so, so important, because that's the energy signature and imprint that we leave behind from what we get to create. And so when I was really going into this energy, what I saw, and which is, I know this is like a channeled goddess energy, I literally saw a visual of this rest being taken very intentionally, but on a bed of pink roses. And this symbolism is so important, because it's like, yes, the rest is important, but the rest is also intentional. Like, who has laid those roses to make it intentional? You. And who is getting to appreciate this rest in a state of profound beauty with these roses? And that is the message here. That is the goddess energy. It's saying, take this intentional rest, but soak it with the beauty that is around you. Soak it with the intentional self-care. It's like, I am choosing to do this for yourself, for myself. And it's like, how can we treat ourselves like the goddess who has come to serve others, yes, to create and do things in our life, but also to be soaked in our own self-belief, our own self-care, self-worth, self-love, and beauty. And with this, I saw like a visual of like a goddess bath. And that this is basically like just having a bath and soaking yourself. And you can make it super intentional. You can use essential oils. You can use rose petals, bath salts, even milk is a goddess bath often. And it's just having this really intentional time to soak in those energies. And so maybe you're encouraged to take that this week. If you've got a bath and you've got these things, how can you allow yourself to do it, but with intention? As you're creating the bath, you're like, this is for me to fill my own cup. And this is like the rose quartz energy as well. So do you have rose quartz around you? Can we really tune into those frequencies and the energies? Can we have roses in our environment? Can we just soak in a little bit more of that sensual beauty? And it's saying this time is for anchoring in self-love, but also self-service, which I love, because we, especially as women, you know, the whole martyr wound comes up, that we're meant to give to others before we give to ourselves. We're meant to overgive and over deplete ourselves before we come back into ourselves. But how can this week, this time, this energy be in self-service? What do I need to feel full? What can I do for myself this week? What do I need to do to fill my own cup? And that's such a beautiful energy. And this is where like the kind of Aphrodite energy came through. It's like, can we anchor in to this sensual self energy? And maybe for you, this is, and I had this message coming in this morning, can you wear nice lingerie? Can you use rose oil on your body? Can you use your favorite perfume? Can you take a little bit more intentional care with how you bathe? You know, that ritual bath. You know, it's whatever that time that just feels really nurturing, self-service, self-love. Because right now we are building, we are creating, we are almost like tuning our energy to the frequency of a very solid foundation within ourselves. And that is someone and women who take care of ourselves, who provide ourselves with self-care, with intentional self-service, because we love ourselves and we believe in ourselves and we empower ourselves. We know we're capable. We are confident. We love ourselves enough to know that we are worthy. And we get to create and be and vision in our lives from that place. And it's almost like we are creating this solid bed through which we are going to root into. And that's where the creation of our lives from this place are really going to be built from. And so this is really telling a bigger picture story of throughout your life now, throughout the next year or however it is. It's like, how do you want to be rooted in yourself to make those things possible for you? And this is where this energy is coming into. It's saying, let's take care of ourselves on a ground solid level. And how can that be the place that you plant the seeds for what you want to grow? And this is why it's so important to be in the feminine energy, because it's like the masculine energy is taking action, doing, creating kind of energy. But that can also be taken instead of in the pushing, striving, achieving kind of energy. It can be taken from this feminine creation energy, you know, feminine energy, like the creators in this world, really, you know, this womb space, this divine source energy that comes through us to create life. And this is through everything we touch, not just children. But how can we create from this really full, enriched place within ourselves, so that we're not striving and pushing because we feel like we need to, but because we are so rested and so taken care of by ourselves. Our cups are so full within ourselves that we can take on this sacred, divine, feminine energy to create in our lives. And so this is just so beautiful, because it's reminding us that we are creating from a place of like self-nurturance, where we are taking care of ourselves, where we get to vision as big as we like. Now that we've seen all the limiting beliefs and all the ways we haven't felt capable, now we get to say, I have changed. I can see that I'm ready for more. I am destined for more, and I'm going to live that. And the first step to that is I'm going to take care of myself as if I am all of those things, so that I am planting a seed in a nutrient dense, fertile soil, which are the energies of Taurus, because Taurus is appreciating the beauties, but also the material aspects. So it's appreciating wealth, finances, home. It's very much these material things in our lives. We can appreciate them. We can build and work towards them, but in this feminine essence of beauty and taking care of and worthiness and empowerment. And so there is this energy of, how can I start to do the things to back myself, to believe in myself, to know I'm capable and worthy enough. And that's going to happen by treating yourself like the goddess under this week. So maybe your actions this week are, how can I step forward and begin to treat myself and take actions like I am a goddess? And that energy to me is just so rich. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, because I'm feeling this energy coming in so strong over last week and this week. With the solar flares that we just had on the weekend, you might be feeling depleted. I'm feeling so tired. And I pulled my oracle cards yesterday morning, and my cards were like, stop, rest, kind of like appreciate, take care of yourself, take care of your body. I was like, I felt I've really been doing that. And I was like, well, not fully, because there's a part of me in my mind that's still thinking about the next steps. So how can we let go and feel ourselves, treat ourselves like we are worthy, like we are rested, and treat ourselves in that way, and then take action from a safety place within us, not because we need to, but we know that we are deserving of. And that's such a different energy and frequency. So I encourage you this week, what do you need to feel nurtured? What do you need to feel rested, like your cup is full, like you love and take care of yourself with this self-service energy? Can you take a goddess bath? Can you fill your space with crystals or with flowers? You wear nice lingerie? Can you wear body cream? Can you massage yourself? As you put the cream on, can you wear your favorite perfume? Can you wear your favorite jewelry on clothes? It's around treating yourself in this frequency, in this energy, and to feel empowered in that, in yourself, not for anyone else, but for yourself and how you feel. And when you can do this and you can just soak into the appreciation of the slow moments, appreciate the beauty around you, the nature, everything you get to do in your life, this is going to be so self-serving, and you're going to be coming into this place of feeling so full. You are embodied and enlivened to take action towards the bigger vision of what you are creating in your life. And that's just so beautiful. And the energy of this week is so beautiful if you allow it to be. That's a message. So take care. I'm so happy to have had you here. My first one back in about a month and a half since before the eclipses. And this is just reminding me of why I do this. I'm sending you so much love. Big kiss.